Hello everyone and welcome back to K-All. I am your host, Angel, and today I'm really excited because I'm going to be doing a little bit of a hybrid episode. We're going to be talking about a lot of different BTS related things, and we're starting off with J-Hope in Berlin for his Hobi Palooza performance, which occurred on Sunday, July 13th. Then we are going to go back in time to 2022 to kind of discuss the comparison between his first time at Lollapalooza in Chicago, which I was actually there for, versus his Berlin performance post-military. And on top of that, we're also going to have a little discussion about the other shenanigans the BTS members have been up to, because July 13th is a day that will go down in history. We got not one, not two, but 3 BTS lives, and we also got some footage of RM and SUGA at Blackpink's show, but more on that later. For now, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, hello. Please give us a review, hopefully 5 stars if you're enjoying the show so far, and don't hesitate to give us any feedback, leave comments, let me know how you're feeling, get in on the conversation. But without further ado, folks, let's get it. Something I find really significant about J-Hope at Lollapalooza is that he started off his Chapter 2, he started off BTS's Chapter 2 with Lollapalooza, and now he brought it to a close with Lollapalooza. So it's such a full circle moment, not only for his career, but also for BTS as a whole, kind of opening up the portal, opening up the gate for the other artists to have their solo moments. J-Hope was the first. He was the one who went to Chicago, who braved it out. He became the first Asian solo artist to headline Lollapalooza in 2022. He started Chapter 2 that way, so beautifully ushering in the era of solo careers for BTS. And now he brought his Hope on the Stage tour to a close in 2025 after leaving the military, right where he began, right where his roots formed on the stage. And he did mention in one of his concerts during Hope on the Stage that Chicago kind of birthed him. That's like really what gave J-Hope life, that first Lollapalooza performance, because it showed him that he was capable of doing this on his own, that he has such brilliant stage presence and power when he's by himself, just as he does with the members, but he is more than capable of doing it on his own. So it was really incredible to see that growth, seeing him discover it in 2022, and now seeing him master it in 2025. All that you could feel on that stage was full confidence. Something that was very different from 2022 was that he's so grounded in his performance. His energy is very controlled, very focused with each song. He knows how to feed off of the crowd's energy. He knows how to get the crowd energetic, get them going with his music, and he's very comfortable and confident with each word he sings and each step he takes on that stage. Whereas 2022 J-Hope was more of a chaotic artist, he was controlled, but to every finite detail. He had meticulously prepared for that Lollapalooza stage almost until the point that it killed him, because he was so diligent in making sure he would put on a good show. And you could feel that chaotic energy on the stage with the way that he did his little rocker moves around the stage, kind of spinning and running uncontrollably, jumping out of the box, just raging into the microphone, the way he would scream and get the crowd going. It was so powerful, so eclectic, but there was such beauty in that chaos. He was a fireman of chaos, as he sings in Arson. Now, in 2025, we see that he knows exactly what he's doing. He doesn't have to worry so much about practicing everything to the perfect detail, because he's got it. He's got it under control. It just flows out of him. And it was so amazing to see that change in him, because Lollapalooza 2022 is something I will never forget. It's one of my favorite concerts I've ever been to in my entire life. But 2025 gave us a full, perfect performance as well, and it was even longer, but it didn't feel like it. It went by so fast. So when you take a look at the 2025 Berlin stage, he opened it up with What If, and this was already a major difference from Lollapalooza in 2022, because What If was the 10th song on the set list. Now, What If was a brilliant way to begin this show because it kind of calls into his Hope on the Stage set list. He kind of kept that very similar with the way it begins with the piano, and it's so good. It's literally perfect every single time. But I do have some qualms with the way that the stage was set up in terms of the lighting, because it was so red at the beginning in the first song that I could not even see him. He was just engulfed in red flames, and it was not flames per se, he was just engulfed in a screen of red. And it was really funny because Jimin had been watching the Weverse live stream, just as all the armies were, 6.3 million people watching, and he commented, "Where's J-Hope? Like, I want to see him," or something along those lines. I was right with you, man. I felt you entirely. By the time he sang Pandora's Box and Arson, I was definitely able to see him. He was much more visible. But again, he was just so cool the way that he walked out there. And another major difference is the stage outfits that J-Hope wore for 2025 Lollapalooza. The first stage that I saw in 2022, he had 2 outfit changes. One was like a full black outfit, a black t-shirt, and some really cool black jeans that I was obsessed with, and his hair was really long, loved the styling, and he also had gloves on. And then he switched to a white outfit with gloves as well. And now for this stage, he decided to really bear it all, just the way that he has with his music. He had his abs on full display, and he had pretty much a very useless piece of clothing on top, just to kind of cover him a little bit, but it was see-through, so I don't really know what the purpose of that was. But you know what? He looked great, so I'm not complaining. At first it was buttoned up, but then eventually he was like, boom, wha-bam. And he had a really cool sparkly J-Hope necklace on for the first half of the concert, which I think he has worn during a couple of stages. But then he took it off as he also unbuttoned his shirt, and the crowd went crazy. The crowd went wild. So, running wild, some might say. Now, after he performed Arson, he performed More, which I, at this point, was fully feeling the set list. I just love his music. I'll never get over it. And then he switched into the Hope on the Stage set, which featured On the Street solo version, Lock and Unlock, as well as I Wonder. Now, this is very different from what I witnessed at Lollapalooza 2022, because Hope on the Stage did not exist. Hope on the Street did not exist yet. So instead of getting all of that, I got Piece of Peace, I got Safety Zone, I got Stop, I got, Cypher Part 1. So that was absolutely crazy, and I'm really, really grateful that I got to experience that, because I probably would never experience those songs in another setting. But I'm lucky enough to have seen Hope on the Stage for my birthday this year, so I'm not too upset about the fact that I missed On the Street, Lock and Unlock, and I Wonder at Lollapalooza 2025. It was so beautiful hearing the audience sing along during I Wonder. It was very heartwarming, and that song just always kind of makes me want to cry. I don't know why, it's just such an emotional song. Maybe because I imagine Jungkook singing with him, like right when he got out of the military. It's just so... it's so perfect. After that, of course, he sang Trivia Just Dance. It was so much fun, super high energy. Everyone was jumping in the crowd, which was the cutest thing. That was a big difference that I noticed with the audience as well. Because for Lollapalooza 2022, we were loud and proud. We were there for J-Hope. We were there for the experiment of this new music he was throwing at us. But we also didn't know what was going to hit us. We didn't know we were about to meet Jay. So it was kind of like we had to get with it as it was unfolding. It was hard to process. It was hard to be right in the moment. I was right in the moment, but I know for everyone as a collective, we all were in shock. So it was really cool to see in 2025 how the ARMY had been totally in tune with each other, like very one with J-Hope's music, like they were clapping on beat, which was something Lollapalooza 2022 could not do during Daydream. And they also just looked so happy, and they were just jumping up and down and singing. They were giving the same energy that I was giving by myself in my section of Lollapalooza 2022. So I really love to see that. I feel very proud. So good job, ARMY in Berlin. Thank you. Thank you so much for your service. Now I feel like Jimin and Jungkook. After that, we got our first interlude. So there was the first little VCR, the Charm of Hope concept film, and that was after he had already performed 8 songs without really stopping, besides like a very brief conversation. after the interlude, that's when we got the new J-Hope. That's when we got the abs J-Hope. That's when Killing a Girl happened. He brought back Alyssa, his dancer, and they were great. Synergy never disappoints. He also performed Mona Lisa, which the crowd was so loud for Killing a Girl's fan chant. Gotta go back and talk about that. I couldn't believe how impressive it was. It was really, really good. They were on. And Mona Lisa was amazing. Oh, it was so funny when he came out for Killing a Girl because Jimin commented and he was like, take it all off as soon as he saw his abs on display. And then he went so far as to post a story of himself with his shirt hanging half off of his body. I guess, you know, he really got one with the music. Even watching through the TV screen, Jimin had to kind of mimic what J-Hope was doing on stage, which I found very adorable. V was also watching for the first half of the concert because he had just gotten out from the gym, and he posted a little clip of him supporting on Weverse, which was really cute. But Jimin was there from start to finish. So during Sweet Dreams, he had commented about how the sky had turned purple as J-Hope was singing Sweet Dreams, and you really could see that. It was very visible over the live stream. And something else really beautiful was that ARMY decided to do a Purple Heart event for J-Hope during Sweet Dreams. So they all held up these gorgeous purple hearts, and he was like, oh my gosh, you could see he was taken back by it. So just seeing that under the purple lighting of the sky, it was so beautiful. That happened, and then he performed Baseline, he performed Hang Sang, he did Mic Drop. Mic Drop never disappoints. Mione Oma is always super loud. Jimin also posted a clip of him singing along to the song on his story, and unfortunately it was a little bit too early with the Mione Oma, but that's okay. He'll get there. It's fine. J-Hope also brought back Dynamite. He also brought back Butter, so it was a good day for Dynamite and Butter enjoyers, like myself. And then he did Outro Ego, Daydream, Chicken Noodle Soup, Hope World. You know, he brought out all the great songs. And his encore featured Equal Sign, Future, and Neuron. I feel like Equal Sign is so quintessentially J-Hope that he genuinely can't go without including that in the set list. So overall, both sets were incredible. It's really special to see how far he's come, how much he's grown. I kind of couldn't believe I was about to cry during the last song. I think I might have cried. For some reason, J-Hope has me shedding tears every single time I watch his final stages. No matter how little clothes he's wearing, I'm still very emotional. After J-Hope, I actually ended up getting ready to go see ATEEZ at Citi Field, which was super fun, very great experience. I got to break the wall with my best friend Lauren, who you all know, hopefully, and if you don't know her, she's been featured in our earlier episodes, but we had such a great time. And then on the drive home, Jimin and Jungkook decided to go live. Yeah, that's right. My two old biases, they decided to have a live stream together, which is a very big deal because they haven't had a real proper duo live stream together probably since the Gimbop one of 2020 or 2021. Because I refused to include that military discharge live. Everybody was kind of just coming back to humanity during that period. So even though that live stream was super special, this was like the first civilian Jimin and Jungkook live. It was so adorable. They were just so cute. There was so much silly banter, little play fighting, and just talking about so many different things. But they also could not stop singing K-pop Demon Hunters music, and I find it really amusing that Jimin has no idea about this movie whatsoever, and one of the characters was designed after him, so I don't think he even knows that. I love how he also got offended about one of the songs being called Golden, because Jungkook, as we know, has an album called Golden, so he didn't understand why he got a little hurt by it, but I think it's pretty funny, because that's so real, being territorial of your members' music. I watched their entire live stream with no subtitles because, as ARMYs truly know, we will laugh along at all the jokes, even if you don't understand what they're saying, because it's just really endearing to see them together, and they just have such a special bond. So I can never get tired of Jungkook content, just any of the members' duos, like Namji, whatever. You give it to me, I'm gonna eat it up. So feel free if you want to send me little edits of the members and their duos, send it over to KOL Podcast on Instagram. I would love to watch them, or my personal Instagram, No Jams Journaling. Up to you. I will completely respond to as many as I can. Yeah, so I was really, really happy that entire drive home just watching that live stream, and they also were singing together a couple of songs, so I really would love to hear a Jimin and Jungkook subunit on this new upcoming album. We got it with Letter, the secret song, but I need something on Spotify. I need something I can stream so it could be my #1 song of the year. But I digress. Then after that, Tae went live for a moment. He said how he had noticed that Jimin and Jungkook were live, so he wanted to go live too. He was like really quick though, it was like a second, but he looked adorable. Loved his yellow outfit and his little sunglasses. He's always very stylish and precious, but you know, I need more. I need a full live stream from you, V. Like once in a while, maybe come on for an hour, sing to us, Jungkook style. But speaking of JK, he came on a little bit after Tae. My friend had texted me and I was like, I know, I saw the live. And she's like, no, girl, Jungkook is live right now. So then I ended up being up until 3 in the morning still watching his live stream because he was serenading me. How am I going to turn off Weverse when JK, Jungkook of BTS, is singing me a lullaby? So I did in fact fall asleep to him singing, which was really soothing, very therapeutic, and I really enjoyed it. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Now I'm just kind of waiting for the subtitles to come on so I can know what was actually unfolding. But I did keep up with as many Twitter posts as I could. And also, I can't forget about the mini Moni content that we got. I mean, Namjoon sharing the photo of Jimin wearing that adorable jersey and being like, Park Jimin, how are you not aging? And then sharing the photo of 2013 Jimin. I'm just saying, if they're working on an album in LA right now, what album was birthed in LA? Dark and Wild. So if he's bringing back old school Jimin, that's got me believing that we're going to get that old school music. So fingers crossed. I would be very excited about that. But it's just so nice to hear that all of them are living together under the same roof. At least Yoongi, Jimin, RM, and Jungkook. They're all living in the same house in LA right now, and they're all making music. So I can't wait to hear what they cook, because as Namjoon said, they are cooking, and he's got a little notebook to prove it. I also melted every single time Jungkook took Jimin's little pinky and was like, I promise I will come to you. Singing Jin's song with the no ye gay, no ye gay ga gay. That was so, so sweet. And it's really adorable that Jimin kind of re-fell in love with Indigo by RM, because the entire first half of the live stream, he was just playing Indigo while he was talking with Jungkook. And he's honestly so me, because I rediscover Indigo every other week, and I feel like a changed person every single time, which I will make a video about Indigo soon, hopefully, because there's just so much to talk about. It's just hard, guys. It's hard to cover everything about BTS, because there's only so many hours in the day, and I spend a lot of hours just consuming their content. But I digress. They also watched when Jin's Don't Say You Love Me debuted in Korea, when it was on that giant LED screen outside of the store, and the way that his face got like morphed on the screen, they were foul for laughing at that and watching that version, even though I admit it is pretty hilarious. And they also watched J-Hope's Killin' It Girl music video, and watching the way that Jimin and Jungkook locked in to see that performance was so funny. You could tell that they are taking notes, they are studying, so we should be very afraid of what these two are going to release in the future. Oh wait, they watched too. They watched Jimin too, and Jungkook was like, who is your heart waiting for? And he's like, I don't know, that's the point of the song. So it was pretty great. I mean, we got Runjin performing, we got J-Hope, Hobi Palooza, G-Cook live, Mini Moni date feat Yoongi. I mean, it was really Yoongi and Namjoon, a Namji date feat Jimin, because Jimin tagged along during their shopping spree. But we also got a Jungkook karaoke live. It's been so long since we've gotten that. 7 acoustic version was actually music to my ears, and everything else he sang was so beautiful too, so I'm going to have to revisit. I highly recommend watching yourself if you haven't gotten the chance. But that's all that I'm going to talk about today. It's kind of a quick little check-in, but I'll be back with more content soon. Bye!